The opinions expressed are those of the show's host and not the staff or management of Port St. Lucie Broadcasters. Any reproduction without written consent of WSTU and WPSL is strictly prohibited. Now it's time for Quality of Life Radio, brought to you by Cigna and Aetna Medicare. Here are your hosts, Gary Owen and Tom Bouvier.
Hello and good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in on this extraordinary Tuesday morning, the first Tuesday of November. Oh my gosh, November's almost here. Oh, and it's here. I can't believe Christmas is almost here. It's unbelievable. You're tuning in to the world-famous Quality of Life radio show. My name is Gary Owen. I'm the president of Owen Insurance Group and your extraordinary, handsome, hairless host. I did a buzz cut, so what can I say?
There we go. I've got one advantage. Oh, maybe you didn't like the hair, but I have Tom. I'm Tom Bouvier. I have hair.
I am Tom. I have hair.
I am Tom, and I have hair. All right. Well, I'm Tom Bouvier. I'm your co-host for today.
And by the way, if you're wondering what the heck is going on, today we are going to share some valuable information because we are in the Medicare annual enrollment period. So we're going to share some valuable information about Medicare Supplement. Last week, if you missed the show last week, you definitely probably want to go back and tune in and to listen to that. You can go to Facebook. We record all these on Facebook Live, so you can go back to our Facebook page. You can follow us at the Quality of Life Radio Show. But last week we talked about Medicare Advantage. This week we're talking about Medicare Supplement. And Tom and I are here every single Tuesday espousing our knowledge because we want to be able, our mission is to be able to educate consumers so they can make an informed decision about their health care, whether it's individual health insurance, ACA, Obamacare, if you're under 65, or if you're turning 65 and you need Medicare. We are here to provide that support as a resource for you so you can make a wise decision. And we always recommend to never take the road alone. And Tom, we're here every single Tuesday because we love what we do.
We love what we do, and we love to bring knowledge, information, relevant content that people can actually use. This is information that can really help you in determining what kind of Medicare Advantage, what kind of Medicare Supplement, what kind of individual health plan, all of these things. We bring information. We espouse all the pitfalls to avoid. We let you know what pitfalls to avoid. We bring transparency and good old-fashioned straight talk. We call this the no plop zone. And it is our mission at Owen Insurance Group to simplify insurance planning so you can enjoy a stress-free life.
We love to provide stress-free life for our clients. If you are not a client of Owen Insurance Group, why not? Number one. And number two, you should probably give us a try because we're local, we're experienced. We've been here for 38 years. We have a brick and mortar location here in Stewart, right behind Key West Diner. And we have thousands of happy clients. And you can read all of our Google reviews to prove to you that we are who we say we are. But anyway, I digress because today we want to talk a little bit and give some information about Medicare Supplement. Before we do that, Tom, do you want to handle the quote of the day? Because
I love it.
We always are consistent in everything that we do. Consistency is power. So talk a bit about the quote of the day.
Yeah, this is a great quote. It says, consistency is a superpower. It separates high achievers from those failing to meet their goals. The good news is that consistency is available to everyone who chooses to make it happen. You know, they say if you want to know a person's future, just look at their daily habits.
Right.
Habits and consistency are basically the same thing. If you're habitually doing the same thing, good or bad, over and over again, that'll predict, your outcome, whether it's good or bad. So that's a great quote, Gary.
Yeah, consistency. I mean, we're here at Owen Insurance Group. We're consistent in providing resource for our consumers, our clients. We're consistent in our education. We're consistent in providing the level of service that you deserve as a Medicare beneficiary. So check us out. Give us a call. You could go to our website at www.oweninsurancegroup.com or give us a call at 772-210-1020. So one thing I can tell you that I am consistent in doing is writing a lot of Medicare supplement business, because there are two types of people out there in this world. There are those that want to or Medicare related to Medicare beneficiaries. There are those who enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan that we talked about last week. Tom did a great job last week in talking about Medicare Advantage. And then there are those who want to stay on original Medicare. Good for you. And then pick up a Medicare supplement plan or a Medigap plan. They are one and the same. When you hear Medigap, Medicare supplement, they're interchangeable. They mean the same thing. They are the same thing. So it's important. We always say this all the time. We train and teach our agents that the decisions you make today can last a lifetime. It's important to get it right the first time, because, again, when you're properly educated, our clients know that if you enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan when you turn 65, and then let's say, and you have no idea, you think it's a supplement, because everyone, a lot of people think they're on a supplement when they're not. They're actually on an Advantage plan. So a lot of people want to start on an Advantage plan and say 3, 4, 5 years down the road, now they're starting to, their health starts to break down. Now they have a chronic illness or a critical illness. They got a lot of expenses to pay, or the doctor's not taking the plan, the doctors that they need to go see, and now they want to switch to a supplement plan. How hard is that, Tom? Can they just switch from an Advantage plan to a supplement plan anytime during AEP, anytime they want to?
Very few states allow that. So to let you know, there are a couple of states that allow. There's no underwriting question, no test, so to speak, no qualifying question that you have to ask. But in the state of Florida, if you've been on a Medicare Advantage plan more than 12 months when you first turned 65 and you want to switch over to a Medicare supplement, that's no problem. Just give us a call at Owen Insurance Group, 772-210-1020, and we can help you navigate that. What will have to happen, however, Gary, is that individual would have to go through what's called underwriting. That simply means we would ask you a list of about 10 to 11 different questions, such as, are you currently in the hospital? Do you have this condition? In the past 2 years, have you had this condition? And if you answer yes to any of those questions, that's for most of the carriers, that means don't even you won't qualify. Don't even submit the application. We call it knockout questions.
Yeah.
It knocks you out of the running. You're not going to get a plan. They're not going to now, different companies might have different underwriting, but generally they're all about the same.
Yeah, so keep in mind, again, I just want to hit this thing home, man. I want to hit this thing home hard so you understand. You may not be able to qualify to go to a supplement plan down the road if you start out on a Medicare Advantage plan, if you can't answer the health underwriting questions. And listen, the older we get, it's just the facts of life, Tom. The older we get, the more things break down, the more pre-existing conditions we have. And now that you have a pre-existing condition, it may preclude you from qualifying to go to a Medicare supplement plan. And again, I'll remind you, Medicare supplement is 180 degrees different than a Medicare Advantage plan. So now with a Medicare supplement, you're on your original Medicare, and you pick up a Medigap plan. There are 9 different types of Medicare supplement plans that you can choose from. But I want to share with you some questions. So let's say that, oh my God, you didn't know that, you didn't realize that you were not on a supplement plan. You really intended to be on a supplement plan. And now it's been over a year. You're past your 12-month trial right period for Medicare Advantage. Now you're over 66 now. Now you have to answer the health underwriting questions, and you could get denied. You could get denied.
You can get denied.
People don't realize that. And you will probably then be stuck on your Medicare Advantage plan for the rest of your ever-loving life. So it's important that here you get the straight talk from Gary and Tom and letting you know that this is what's happening. People, listen, there are so many agents out there, and we're not here to belittle or badmouth this industry and agents that are in this industry. But unfortunately, the statistics are grim because 93% of insurance agents fail in this industry in the first 2 years. So you've got to be careful in who you're working with. Make sure that you work with an independent agency, not a career shop or career agent who represents only one carrier or one or two carriers. It's important that you work with an independent agent and work with an agent who has vast experience, like those of us here at Owen Insurance Group, where we're going to educate you and give you the information that you need to make an informed decision. Because I'm going to tell you today, right here, right now, that making a decision about Medicare when you first turning 65 or maybe you're 75 and you're still working and now you're going to retire and it's the first time getting on Medicare, whenever that day is, that is a very important day for you that you have to make the right decision because in the future, you may not be able to change to a supplement plan down the road. So be cognizant of that. I'm going to read to you some underwriting questions because I think it's important that you understand what are some of those questions that can be asked now that you have to go through underwriting. The very first thing they ask is your height and weight. If you're obese, if you don't hit the certain criteria, if you've got a high BMI, you are not going to qualify. That's the first question. If you can't get past the height and weight, and I'll tell you, I mean, this one carrier that we write a lot of, this Medicare Supplement carrier, they have unisex height and weight for their plan. So, for example, if you're a male or a female, you're 5'5", the maximum you could weigh is 287. If you're 6 foot, the maximum you could weigh is 337. So, and again, if you're over those weight limits, then you would not qualify to be on a Medicare supplement plan for that one carrier. Every carrier's underwriting is uniquely different. They're close, but they're not exactly the same. Now, let's say you can answer that and you're within the height limit, your BMI is fine. Now it's time to answer, and by the way, these are the questions and the application for a supplement plan. Thank God we don't do too much paper. We do it all digital now and online, thank God. So here is a list of some of the questions. I'll try to get through all of this. Are you hospitalized, confined to a nursing facility, or receiving Medicare-approved home health care? Or have you been hospitalized or received approved home health care 2 or more times in the past year? You have to answer no.
So don't call us from the hospital. Well, call us, but
trust me, it has happened.
We'll let you down.
It has happened.
Yes, if you from last week's show, I was mentioning people are calling me from the hospital or skilled nursing or right there at some specialist and they've just been diagnosed with a situation. So,
speaking of diagnosed, have you been diagnosed or had treatment for emphysema, COPD, or pulmonary fibrosis? You have to answer no. Then the next question is, are you bedridden or do you use a wheelchair for any daily activity, or have you had treatment by a licensed member of the medical profession with Goucher's disease or any type of lysosomal storage disorder, or have you had any type of amputation caused by disease? You have to answer no. Then, have you been advised that surgery may be required within the next 12 months for cataracts? I'm going to tell you, I don't know anybody who's turning 65 that Is it ready or hasn't already had cataract surgery?
I've had to have a gentleman get his cataracts done, and then he applied, and because he was over 60,
Yes,
65.
there you go.
He waited till the cataracts. I'm done.
So
he
if you've got cataract surgery planned in the next 12 months, you are not going to get a Medicare supplement plan.
get it done now and then apply.
That's right. Next, have you been diagnosed or had treatment for Parkinson's disease or MLS or Alzheimer's disease, senile dementia, or organic brain disorder? You must answer no. Have you tested positive for exposure to the HIV infection or have AIDS or AIDS-related complex caused by HIV infection or other sickness or conditions derived from such infection? You must answer no. Then, do you have diabetes requiring more than 50 units of insulin daily? You must answer no. Within the past 2 years, have you been diagnosed or had treatment by a licensed member of the medical profession for internal cancer, melanoma, leukemia, alcoholism, or drug abuse, or cirrhosis, mental or nervous disorder requiring psychiatric care, or have you been advised to have kidney dialysis? That was a mouthful. You have to answer no. In the past 2 years, have you been diagnosed or had treatment by a licensed member of the medical profession for a heart attack, peripheral vascular disease, congestive heart failure, heart valve disorder, stroke, or a TIA? Now, you have to answer no. In the past 2 years, have you been diagnosed or had treatment by a licensed member of the medical profession for rheumatoid arthritis or crippling arthritis? You must answer no. And then, within the past year, have you been fed intravenously through a tube? Have you been medically advised to have a treatment by a licensed member of the medical profession to have surgery for joint replacement or for a heart condition, but not had such surgery? You must answer no. And the final question. In the past year, have you been advised to have treatment by a licensed member of the medical profession to have any other surgery that has not yet been performed? You must answer no. So, last Thursday, I had a client in my office, in our conference room, who desperately was trying to get off of her Medicare Advantage plan. She's got treatments coming up. She has to go to the University of Miami. She answered no to all the questions until the last one, where she has a treatment scheduled by a licensed medical professional down in Miami, and unfortunately, she could not answer no to that question until she has that done on the 21st of November. And then hopefully she will call me to let me know the results of that treatment. And hopefully we can get her on a Medicare supplement plan. So last week we were mentioning, Tom and I were talking about Medicare Advantage plans, how people think that you can just switch from MAPD to a supplement. It just doesn't happen that way. You can switch from one MAPD plan, Medicare Advantage plan, to another plan during AEP. But you just can't do that automatically with a Medicare supplement. You have to answer no, typically, to the health underwriting questions. So keep that in mind when it comes to Medicare supplement. You may never be able to get on a supplement. Depends on the carrier, their underwriting questions, and your health. Because the carrier is going to not only take the application and see that you answered no, but they're going to look into your Medicare Information Bureau, your MIB, and they're going to do the RX check. So if you're on a certain drug, that could be an automatic decline. Or they could see that you've got something in your Medical Information Bureau that was not shown in the application. They can decline you. So it's important that if you want a Medicare supplement plan, that you choose one when you first turn 65. Or Tom and I, we always educate our clients that come into us here at Owen Insurance Group, located at 1611 Northwest Federal Highway in North Stewart. we also, there is a cool little trick that we like to use. It's called the trial right period. So if the client's fairly healthy, so we tell them, listen, give the Medicare Advantage plan a test drive, right? You can take it for up to a year. Before you turn 66, though, you want to get back on original Medicare and sign up for a Medicare Supplement plan. And that would be guaranteed issue. No health questions can be asked because you're still within your 12-month trial right period from turning 65. That's the key. You have to be 65. If you're 70 and taking Part B for the first time, that doesn't work for you. It has to be from your Medicare Part A effective date, which is when you turn 65. So keep that in mind because you must answer the health underwriting questions once you're 66 and over. And yes, in the state of Florida, in most states, that's true. A few states like New York, Connecticut, and just a couple of others is community rated, so no underwriting questions need to be asked. But in those states that are community rated, you will find that the premiums are much higher because there are no underwriting questions. The rates are unisex, so people in those states are going to pay premiums that are exponentially higher. So here in the state of Florida, we just put a client, this lovely lady this morning who came in to see us on Plan G, a Medicare Supplement Plan G. And Plan G right now, for those who turn 65 after January 1st, 2020, can no longer qualify for Plan F. So Plan G is the next Mac Daddy plan when it's related to Medicare Supplement. So with Plan G, you just pay the premium, and you only have to pay that annual Part B deductible for 2023. It's at $226. Once you pay your $226 deductible, everything's covered 100%.
Hassle-free,
That Medicare
no referrals.
No referrals, no networks.
Yeah, just pick up the phone and ask the best of the best hospitals, doctors around the country.
Right.
Do you take Medicare? And if they do, set an appointment.
That's
And
absolutely
providers
right.
like supplements as well.
Well, yeah, they seem to get paid a little bit better, don't they, on Medicare Supplement with original Medicare than they do on the Medicare Advantage plan. So, yes, that is absolutely the truth. So now, this is November the 7th, folks. So you have until December 7th. You've got 1 month to make a change, to do a review, to find out what could be the best plan for you. And listen, there's not a one-size-fits-all solution when it comes to insurance planning. So let us do the heavy lifting. Let us do the research. And if you want to stick on Medicare Advantage and maybe choose a different plan that offers better benefits, that has better formulary, less out-of-pocket cost on your drug plans and so forth, you owe it to yourself. You should always do a plan review if you're on a Medicare Advantage plan or on a standalone drug plan because benefits change every year and formularies change every year.
Yeah, and if you are on a Medicare Advantage plan and you just went on that at age 65 within the last 12 months, give us a call if you want to switch over to a supplement because, as Gary said, you can do it without having to write the underwriting question. And also, don't think that if you just answer the question no when you know there's an answer right, these companies will know. There's medical records showing that you really did have this, you really did have that. So you have to be honest with those questions.
Yes.
And if you don't think, and if you do think, rather, that you could pass those underwriting questions and you're 68, 69, even 75. I had an 80-year-old woman walked in and she wanted to switch from one supplement to another company supplement, and she answered no to everything.
Good for her.
And it passed.
Good for her.
So just because you're older doesn't mean you won't pass the underwriting. But give us a call at 772-210-1020, and we'll be happy to do a no-cost or obligation review for you.
And don't take the road alone, all right? So
Yeah,
I know
good
you
advice.
think you might know what you're doing. You're going to go online. You're going to check the different Medicare supplement carriers that are available to you in your area, and you're going to pick the cheapest G plan that there is. Shame on you, because guess what's going to happen, Tom?
rate increases. There's a lot of factors that goes into it.
Do not ever base your decision on who has the lowest premium. Yes, Plan G is Plan G across all the carriers, but not every carrier is the same. So you got to base it on the carrier that's been around the longest, who has the best rate stability, claims paying ability, and financial stability. See, when you do it on your own, you don't have the answers. You don't understand how to do that. Tom and I have that experience. We know the 30 carriers that are in the state of Florida. We know the players. We know the games they play. We know the tricks of the trade. So work with a professional. It doesn't cost you anything.
Nope.
So why would you not use us? For the love of God.
And you don't get a discount by going online and doing it yourself. The rate will be the same.
Guess what?
Yeah.
We're up already. It's unbelievable. We didn't have time to talk about dental today. So
Not
I guess,
at all.
well, next week on the 14th of November, we'll touch a little bit on the dental. Time just goes by so fast. Stay tuned. Coming up next is the Brian Kilmeade Show. And thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the show. And please share us with your friends and family and neighbors. And remember, stay safe, keep healthy, be happy, and guess what? Enjoy your quality of life. Take care, everybody.